In 2012, Twitter bought the app that should have become TikTok. They paid just $30 million for it before it even launched. At its peak, it had 200 million users. The creators who built their careers on it went to dominate YouTube, Instagram, and yes, even TikTok. Twitter shut it down in 2016. And the same month they announced the shutdown, TikTok launched. This isn't a story about a bad product. Vine was great. It's a story about what happens when you buy something you don't understand and then slowly stop caring about it. Because it turns out distraction kills more companies than really bad decisions do. And for anyone who wasn't on the internet in 2013 and 2014, let me paint a picture. Vine was a 6-second looping videos. That's it. And it completely changed what creativity on the internet looked like. The constraint was on point. 6 seconds forces you to be precise. Every frame had to, earn its place. And Vine invented the format that really TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts all run on today, and it built careers, real ones. Shawn Mendes, he got discovered on Vine. Logan Paul, King Bach, Lily Pons, Zach King. These weren't just internet famous people. They were building audiences of tens of millions with nothing but a phone and a 6-second loop. At its peak in 2015, Vine had over 200 million active users. It was a cultural force, and Twitter owned all of it. Here's the part that makes this just fascinating. Twitter bought Vine in October 2012 before it had a single public user. They saw the potential. They moved fast. They paid $30 million. That's not the mistake. That was, I guess, maybe the smart move. The mistake was that what they thought they were buying. Twitter thought they were buying a feature, a short video product that they could bolt onto their platform. But what they really actually bought was a creator ecosystem, a community of people building careers, building audiences, building culture. Those are completely different things, and they require different strategies. And Twitter never figured that out. And by the time they started to understand it, it was already too late. For a while, Vine was thriving. The app was growing, the content was really good, the culture was awesome. But what was happening under the surface, the creators who were driving all of that growth, the people with millions of followers, were making nothing. Vine had no monetization, no ad revenue share, no tipping, nothing. YouTube was paying creators, and Instagram was investing in the platform. Vine's answer to how do creators make money here was essentially, figure it out. And the creators did figure it out by taking brand deals off platform, building audiences that they could take anywhere. They started to hedge their bets. The talent that Vine had built was never tied to Vine. It was tied to the creators. And here's the thing, the creators knew it. And in 2013, Instagram added video, 15 seconds. In 2014, they added longer videos, and then filters, and then better discovery. Meanwhile, at Vine, the team was being cut. Features were slow, the roadmap was unclear. Twitter was going through its own identity crisis, questions about its own growth, its own monetization and future. And Vine kept getting pushed down the priority list. Not killed, just deprioritized. And there's this phrase that I got told, it's death by 1,000 cuts. The dangerous thing about it is that none of the individual cuts look fatal. We'll get to the creator tools next quarter. We'll address monetization after we sort out the core product. Vine is fine. It's just not our main focus. That's how companies die. Not in a single bad decision, in 100 small ones that each feel reasonable at the time. In 2016, 18 of Vine's biggest creators sat down. They had a combined following of hundreds of millions of people, and they went to Twitter with a proposal. Pay each of them $1.2 million a year. Give them better tools, fix the monetization, or they would leave. Twitter said no. Think about that for a second. The product's value was entirely in its creators. The creators were telling you exactly what they needed to stay, and the company's response was no. Within months, those same creators were posting on YouTube, Instagram, building the audiences somewhere else, telling those users to follow them because they were never following Vine. They were following the people. Vine was just where those people happened to be. So what actually went wrong? Because I don't think this is just a story about bad management. There's 3 psychological patterns here that we really should pull apart. So pattern 1, the acquisition mirage. When companies buy other companies, they almost always think that they're buying the product. But with community platforms, the product is the people, it's the relationships, the culture. Twitter bought Vine and immediately started thinking about how to integrate it as a Twitter feature. That framing, this is a feature we own versus this is an ecosystem we're now responsible for, shapes every decision that comes after it. And well, Twitter never made that shift. Pattern 2 was the creator blind spot. Here's something that you would think would be obvious, but isn't on creator platforms. The creators are the products. The app is just a container. The reason users show up is the people they want to watch. When you fail to invest in the creators, you give them no monetization, no reason to stay loyal. You're not just losing talent, you're hollowing out the product itself, and the users are going to leave when the creators do, because there's nothing left to stay for. And this pattern shows up everywhere today. Platforms that treat their top creators well tend to survive. Platforms that don't, well, they tend not to. And pattern 3, death by deprioritization. And this one is one of the most dangerous because it doesn't actually feel like a mistake when it's happening. Nobody at Twitter woke up and said, let's destroy Vine. They just kept choosing other things, quarter after quarter, year after year. The psychology here is avoidance dressed up as prioritization. It feels responsible to say we're focused on our core product, but what you're actually doing is slowly withdrawing from something that needed investment to survive. And by the time the data makes it undeniable, it's too late to reverse. And in October 2016, Twitter announces Vine is shutting down. The same month, ByteDance launches TikTok with the format that Vine invented, the creator culture that Vine built, the audience that Vine grew. All of it got handed to a competitor for free because Twitter couldn't decide what Vine was worth. The original Vine founders later tried to bring it back. They called it Byte. It didn't work. The window had closed and someone else had walked through it. Now here's the question this story leaves me with. Do you know what your product is? Not what it does, not the features, not the interface. What is the real thing people are buying when they choose you? For Vine, the real product was never the 6-second video. It was the creators and the community they built. Twitter never understood that. And so every decision they made about investment, about features, about negotiation was based on the wrong model. The businesses that survive are usually the ones where the founders can answer that question clearly, not we make a video app, but we are the platform where this specific kind of creator builds their career, and our job is to make that as powerful as possible. That clarity changes everything. Thanks for listening, guys. You know, on the next episode, we're going to have another good story. Really appreciate it. Follow us on YouTube and on TikTok. Appreciate it. See you later.